Hello, Nomads, and welcome to the Nomads of Fantasy podcast. My name is Brandon. I am your host, and we're going to be doing a quick review of the Mandalorian Season 3. But I'm not alone. I'm also here with Dave.
Yes.
Yes. No.
No. It's only yes. It's coming from here.
And Eric.
No squeezy! No squeezy, baby,
Oh.
no squeezy!
Very nice.
Good old Anselms.
No, that was good. That was great, dude.
I like those guys.
Yeah, they are good.
More of them, actually, please. That's what I
for
said.
sure.
Quick reaction on that. I was like, that's awesome. If you're gonna bring anything from episode 9, please.
The only good thing, maybe, from episode 9?
Hey now.
Episode 9?
Yes.
What episode?
The movie.
The
right.
Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, not
I
the
was gonna say.
not the Mandalorian episode 9.
Yeah, but just the tie-in, which I don't know. What I like about these TV shows is they do try to, especially Mandalorian. I really feel like it's in the universe where all the movies took place, because I feel like when I watch the movies, they kind of barely talk about the other one existence, you know?
Yeah.
And the Mandalorian does a hell of a job of kind of blending them all together.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyways, specifically season 3 that just kind of wrapped up a couple weeks ago.
It was last week, right? It was just last week. Yeah. Finale was just last week.
It was. Okay. Feels longer. But anyways, so everybody has an opinion on this season. And I'm actually kind of annoyed a little bit. I was looking at what other people were saying or trying to. And I went on YouTube, and people are being a little dramatic about this show. Like,
Yeah.
I get it. You really
It's
like
Star
the
Wars.
season.
It's Star Wars.
Seriously?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
if it's not perfect, and then it's like binary. If it's not amazing,
Binary Sunset.
then it sucks.
No.
People are just over.
Season had lots of ups and like every show has its ups and downs, and even like
Yeah.
within the season,
Yeah.
there were episodes that were amazing, like
I
the
mean, it's not
last
the
two.
same. It's not the same quality as the first two. I think we all can agree to that. But
No, well, it's got a different tone to it. Where like Mando's like a side character now. When like it first started, it was like the space Star Wars Western, where it was just like every episode was like him.
Yeah, and he was
going into a town
badass.
and, like, yeah, doing,
I feel like they
these
toned down
missions
his
and, like,
his
side stuff.
badassery a little bit. Like he's kind of like
Yeah, he's kind of. They did make him.
He still
human.
does some cool stuff, but like he was like the hero of the show in the first 2 seasons. You know, I feel like they definitely gave him a backseat in this season, which they
It's
brought in
interesting.
some new characters. You know, to kind of take the forefront. I mean, they brought in
Spice it up.
a lot of new characters,
right,
to say the least.
character from the Clone Wars, right?
Yeah,
Remember
Bo-Katan.
that's what she's from. Bo-Katan's really from.
I have some stuff
Yeah,
to
so,
say about the. We'll get into it, but I want to give our just first impressions, like overall
Sure.
ratings and stuff.
Sure. I mean, cat's out of the bag, like at least for me on where I place it. I think it's definitely inferior to the first 2 seasons, but I don't think
agree.
it's like a horrible show. Like
No,
I just
people are
don't get-
overreacting on Twitter.
they are on just on everything.
On everything, yeah.
out there. And I'm guilty of it too. It's just it's addictive. It's easy to go down that path and just say it's not perfect, so it's this, and get all
Well,
emotional.
it's
but-
hard when you hold Star Wars to such a high standard, you know, as something that you love and a franchise that you love, that you want it
High
to want it to
standard
be
of-
perfect, but when it's
High
not,
standard
it's
of
disappointing.
nostalgia because all like all the music that you like now like has been influenced by what you listened to when you were a teenager, and a lot of that stuff like the shit that you like is influenced by what you like when you were a kid. So like if it's not
Yeah.
those rose-colored glasses looking back at the old movies, like it's not the same. But you can be overly critical, but
Yeah.
absolutely it's not just a black and white thing. It's different shades of gray because
Do you think a lot of the negative reaction is just coming from the obvious, like fumbles that Disney has been doing with these Disney Star Wars? Like, other than
Dave, stop
Andor,
doing that.
It does look like you're hiding.
it's my evil posture back there. I'm just listening in.
Where Disney has been doing this thing with Star Wars shows, where like they have a pretty good idea, they set up pretty well, it's well produced, but they have
Oh, yeah.
these obviously poor decisions. I mean, like we saw it really in like noticeably in the Book of
Obi-Wan
Boba Fett,
Kenobi, both of
and then
them.
Kenobi.
Hey.
Yeah, and then not so much in Andor. Andor was actually pretty good throughout. There's really like there's no
You've
dumb
been
moment.
killed.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
change anything in it.
Yeah, no
You
no
know?
real stinkers thrown in there.
Correct.
They're all good, I would say.
For the most part, I thought that show was a tight package. But this season, I mean, the obvious thing is Lizzo and all that stuff. But like the cameos and
I have
Not
something
even
to
just,
say about
it's
that. Yeah,
all the cameos, all of them. It's not just Lizzo. It's not just Jack Black. It's like
Star Wars
even-
is too big for its britches now, so they need to cram all the random
Yeah.
stars in there because
Like-
now that the popular the mainstream audience is watching it, they're like, let's put Christopher Lloyd in here for some
Christopher
reason.
Lloyd was weird, and Tim Meadows threw me off. Like, dude, this is the principal from the Goldbergs. Like, he's not an Imperial or a Rebel officer.
Goldbergs.
Like, that threw me way off. Just how the cameos and anything bug me. That's why I like when Star Wars came new with Daisy Ridley and was it John Boyega and everybody.
Boyega,
Like,
yeah.
I didn't know them from anything, so they're those characters in my brain. But when you throw Christopher
Right.
Lloyd in here as like dude's old, like.
He's
let
old
him
as
let him
hell.
voice
Here's
act.
Here's the thing. I'm with you. Like, here's the thing. Like, it's Star Wars. I don't know if you noticed this, but there's fucking aliens in
Mhm.
this franchise. How about a little fucking makeup? Like, Jack Black, love you, dude. Love you. Be
Yeah.
it anything you want.
You don't need to put
And be
you don't
Jack
need to
Black.
put
I really
makeup
don't-
on Jack Black though. Come on.
Yes, you do.
Nah.
Make him an
Jack Black
alien,
was good.
dude. Like,
He's always good.
but he just acted like a toned down Jack Black.
Essentially, yeah.
It was just like, yeah, I'm with you, Dave. And it was
He's got
that
the-
episode
just
had
like-
too many cameos.
Let's
It's just
take
like,
the beard and just split it in the middle. All right, he's good. Send him
He's that
What
makes
do you-
him mysteriously an alien.
out.
Belongs in the Star
Looks
Wars
like-
universe.
A homeless social media Jack Black that was stuck in his house for 2 years during COVID.
Sounds about right.
That's what happens.
yeah, but that was a
I
low
mean, love
point.
him.
But like everybody reacted to that. I was like, what was that about?
I can
That's an
forgive
obvious
that.
one.
I will say I feel like I've been the minority in saying like there was still some stuff about that episode that I liked, and it's because
the plot.
yeah, the plot was good. I think it's because you guys have not really watched all that much of the Clone Wars, and I have watched the entire series, but they are really, I feel like you can feel like the Dave Filoni like Clone Wars inspiration coming through, especially on this season, because a lot of the cadence of Clone Wars is you have these weird one-off episodes that are like random, kind of off the beaten path, like they'll go to this weird planet or they'll help out these random people on
The
in
Jar Jar
the
Binks
Outer
or
Rim,
the Padme episodes.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Like, you gotta have them. Fillers.
Yeah, it did. It felt like a filler, but there was still some interesting stuff in there. And then by the end of the season, you get back to the main plot, and then you move forward the overarching story a little bit more. And that's how the Clone Wars was. You would have these like random one-off episodes, and then by the end of the season, it would bring everything back around to the main plot, everything that happened. So,
Sure.
Good observation there.
but so I can appreciate that the structure, I guess, of this season a little bit more. It did feel a little bit random with some of the episode choices and some of the stories because, like you said, I mean, we've said it before, like even in the previous seasons, it has been like one-offs, like Monster of the Week type things. But even so, I feel like it is still weaker this season with those like offbeat episodes.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I've always liked Boba Fett. Growing up, I always just thought he looked cool. I'm one of those fans of Boba Fett. Where like it's just
Mandalorians
purely
look
based on
cool.
him look cool, and they do look
Yeah.
cool. And it's like my issue with the Kenobi series, where it's like tease me Vader. I saw too much Vader in that show, and I love
Right.
Vader. Like, show me, like, I want to see a lot of Vader, but I really don't want to see Vader. That's like why it works in Rebel. No, God, Rogue One, when he finally I mean, he makes that one
Yeah.
appearance in the movie, but when he makes that final appearance, like, that's all you need. And I don't know. I
Again.
feel what's that?
Spoiler alert for the
Jedi Fallen
is it-
Order.
Fallen Order. Yeah.
When he makes his appearance at the end.
I'm just Well, no, I'm talking about Rogue One.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
I know,
Rogue
but
One,
it's like the
both.
same
not-
thing. Like the same thing
That's
in
true.
the game. Yeah.
Yeah, wait, whatever. But anyway, so back to Mandalorian season 3. It's like the idea of seeing the Mandalorian was like, oh my god, like you see one, it was a big deal. We're following like Mando throughout the first 2 seasons, and then the third season, there's just a dime a dozen.
Oh
So the
yeah.
wow factor's gone on that, and I'm a little underwhelmed. And I liked the season. I liked it. It was fine. It's just not as good as the other two, but I was kind of bored with the Mandalorians.
I was
And,
waiting for the big,
like,
like a
going to
big
Mandalore
thing
was
to
not a-
happen.
It just was weird that
It
he
did
like
happen.
Well,
he goes
it
to
did,
like go in
but
water.
nothing like it didn't feel like it moved the story forward all that much. I mean, yes,
So taking back a Mandalore and
they
in the
reclaim their
grand-
home
the
planet.
grand sense of the grand Star Wars universe is kind of a big thing. Like
Sure.
like I used to listen to the books on tapes of I think it was Heir to the Empire, and some of them have like, the Luke Skywalker, Mara Jade, like get married and have kids, and like there's like that whole storyline revolves around Mandalorians like training their kids to be like badass motherfuckers, and
I wasn't
they just gotta fight
invested
each other. It's awesome, and it's
for the
like they're big. It's a big deal that like Mandalore is back, because like they were a force to be reckoned with.
for the first 2
So,
seasons.
oh.
I didn't care about Mandalore though. I was invested in Din Djarin and Grogu's story, and they
Yeah.
put a backseat to that in this season, 100%.
This whole season, he was like a side character. He's just kind of like in the background. Like we had the episode where they're like at the Imperial episode where it was kind of like Andor, where they're like following the scientist guy, and they
Yeah, they had
introduced the
Pershing and
They-
whatever her
That was
name
a
was,
great
Kane.
episode.
Yeah,
I love that episode.
that was yes.
But like
I'm fine with that.
that
I like when
episode
they
is
do
there's
these
not a
random.
lot of Din in that episode.
It also felt like a
It
completely
takes a backseat to the whole story.
make that its own series, like its own mini series or something. Just the New Republic and how the the ex Imperials are integrating with that. I think that stuff's
Yeah,
interesting.
I know
Interesting.
that is great world building. Like
Yes.
that's the stuff I want to see. You know how
There's
you're
a
always
lot
asking
of
to see,
world
see the underworld. I want to
all
see like
over.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
just-
cool
It's pretty
stuff.
like lore heavy, like throughout. Like like we saw the one you're mentioning, the droid episode. Like we saw the inside of a droid bar, and we saw like like
That was
like
cool.
who the fuck knows what droids do in like their off hours? They go to the droid bar and they get lubricants, and they're
Yeah.
actually really friendly, and they're all like just that kind of weird shit that you
Yeah.
never would think of, like
Yeah, friendly.
what happens on like a Friday night to all the droids. They go out and they get lubed up.
I've said this before, but
It's-
I
it's
still
cool.
think
That's the fun stuff. Like that,
Yeah.
I want to see. And I just like when I go explore a cave on Mandalore, and it's just, oh, it was actually all right. We could visit this whole time.
Yeah.
Like you can't send a fucking drone there and test, like check it out. Like you had.
no, they have to see
had
it for
be
themselves.
Been.
Mm-hmm.
They have to
like,
see
you
it with
had to
their
be the
own
one,
eyes.
and- yeah. I don't know all that. I mean, what was cool is when he got captured, and Bo-Katan had to come and save him. Like that was a cool fight. I was like, for a TV show, this is pretty nice.
I think it
know,
was kind
a
of
couple episodes
boring.
are
I think it was kind of a lame out how Bo-Katan
Oh.
came back with reclaimed the Darksaber and whatever.
Yeah,
I thought that was just kind of like a throwaway thing.
underwhelming.
Like
I
the
know.
the Darksaber
Right.
is supposed to be this cherished Mandalorian artifact that whoever wields it is the ruler of Mandalore, and Din just handing it over lazily, being like,
They
"She
explained it,
rescued me, so she gets the Darksaber now." Like, come on, like something that important
I know.
to their
Right.
culture
You made
is
such a big
weird.
deal about it across like I think it was even like an episode of the Book of Boba Fett. Wasn't his episode? Didn't it start off with him dealing with the
Yeah, and it's still
Darksaber
fucking
in that
wild to
episode?
me that you had like Book of Boba Fett is required reading for this season
yeah.
of The Mandalorian. Like if you missed
season
the Book of Boba
2.5.
Fett, yeah, if you decided, whatever, I don't really care. I don't really care about Boba Fett. There's 2 episodes of The Mandalorian hidden in the Book of Boba Fett, which is just so weird.
Which kind of undoes, like, didn't at the end of season 2, Grogu goes with Luke.
Exactly.
And
You
then-
would
and
have
then
no
in that
idea.
Book of Boba Fett, you don't know where, like, all of a sudden it's just back with him hanging out.
If you went from Mandalorian season 2 to season 3, you would have no idea why Grogu is back with Din and how he got his
Especially
fancy
how
new
2
ship.
ended.
And yeah,
It was
exactly.
so sad. Yeah, it's so sad. It was such a great ending to the second season, and yeah, if you didn't see
Such a
that,
weird choice. Like it's
why
like
wasn't it just a standalone episode that they just kind of dropped? You
right,
know,
right.
surprise, here's an episode.
Or add them to the list of episodes in the Mandalorian season 3, like have them be like, like the pre-episode, just have them in that list also so people don't miss those cuz like you would be confused if you're only watching the Mandalorian.
Right. Yeah, that is very weird.
True.
Well, they just did it again though with the reformed officers from the Empire. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know.
you know,
What'd you think of the whole like Navarro plot line with Grief Karga and everything and the pirates?
it's fine.
Eh?
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
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 I like
it.
I
I
like
like
the
seeing
space
Carl
pirate.
back.
Yeah,
Gives
Carl
it,
Weathers.
he's
I
friends
definitely.
of the Mando.
He's a good guy
Friends of
now.
all those guys. Yeah.
Season 1, he's trying to kill him. He actually gets
thought-
shot by Mando in the end of like the one
Yeah.
episode in season 1. He's
They
shot
weren't-
and
Yeah, they were
and
not
he
friends.
dies. Yeah, and now he's just like they're like buddies. Hey, I need help.
Right.
But, yeah.
It was a little
They have
weird.
respect for each other now.
I thought the pirate stuff was cool, but again, it was like it didn't really move the plot
Yeah.
forward at all.
No, it could have been cooler. Definitely could have been cooler.
And I thought the way
this is-
they introduced like
this is
that pirate king, he would be more of an important character, but
I know.
they set him up like he would be like
No,
I thought he was
persistent
gonna
throughout
be
the season.
villain. Yeah.
Yeah, he was gone pretty quick.
Yeah.
The Mandalorians coming out of the dropship and now they're working like it was like the setup. They're working as a team and they're all working together to get the one thing done. And it sets up their getting that place as like a home base essentially
hmm
for later in the show. But that's about it. I don't know.
Yep.
I thought it was.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah, it was
You
fun.
mentioned world building before.
I think-
Oh, go ahead.
I want to see something positive. I want
Yeah.
to slam it, but I think they always get Grogu right, and I think they totally did this season. I was a little concerned that they're dragging their feet with him, trying to be like a student of the Mandalorian and like seeing if he's gonna like take the oath or whatever. But
Dude doesn't grow very fast. Like he's the same size. It's been like a couple
Could be like
years.
that.
I mean, Yoda's fucking
Right.
800 years old or whatever, and so you got to
Yeah, but-
imagine even though how old is Grogu? Like 50
Like, he's
years
not
old or
gonna
something.
be- you could get like
Yeah.
intelligence like quicker. There's probably a.
I think
steeper
they just
learning
age
curve for
slower,
things.
Super
So,
slow.
overall, yeah.
Maybe.
So he's still technically a
I
baby.
think he's gonna be talking
Big
soon.
giggles.
Next season. I thought
He
I heard a
said-
little bit of.
He did
talking
say
at
like
the
a
end.
word, yeah, in the last episode, a couple words.
So I think it's coming very soon. What
What
do
did
you
he
guys think
say?
of?
it was
IG-12?
like gibberish, but it was not just babbling,
It was it was actual like
Oh,
Isa Misa
Mhm.
Musa.
Yeah.
Something like that.
okay. Well,
No, the
IG-12. What did you
the
guys
mech
think of
suit that was fucking
Loved
awesome.
it.
Yeah,
Loved
I
it.
thought that
Loved
was-
it.
it just
Every time I see it, it is super awesome. But I'm like, how does he control the whole body with just 2 joysticks? Like, what is going
the
on in
force,
there
the force.
that he knows? Like,
Oh,
it's
fucking
just, I'm trying to
spider.
think of.
Like arm. Get out of here.
Eat it.
Sorry. Eat it. No, that was great. Brandon, you'll appreciate this and probably understand what I'm referencing, but the Bluey episode, like the dance mode Bluey episode with the yes no button, I couldn't not
yeah.
think of that when Grogu was
Oh.
doing his yes no on the IG-12.
Yeah.
That was so good.
I can see that.
I
connection.
love that because Din was like, no, don't do this, and Grogu was like, yes, yes, yes. So good.
Yeah, that was cute.
How did they
going
not
through
come
the
up with that
town.
earlier?
That was yeah.
Yeah.
But they get Grogu right. Dude, the IG-12. I like the idea of him like that's such a quest thing to do, especially in like a game or something like that, where like you got to go and like you only find the head, or like you got to put the body parts together. You got to go on a mission and reassemble this character.
Yeah.
I thought it was really fun, but I really liked. It was kind of like a horror scene when they got him up, like they plugged him in and he came to life and he started.
That was
like,
creepy.
attack them and he's like
Mhm.
crawling and he's trying to kill and I'm like damn.
Yeah. Those assassin droids are no joke.
Yeah, they were trying to get the last version of him where like they rewired him to. But yeah, I thought that was pretty. It was a cool callback, and I liked all the scenes with that. Grogu was great. Mando
Yeah.
was
Oh, yeah.
fine for when he was in his.
Yeah, he's just like
The man.
fuck it, I'll shoot some stuff. And he's just you had me at shooting stuff. I forget that was the one quote.
You had me at
I think
shooting
it-
stuff.
Like the guns for hire one. Like
Yeah.
speaking of that episode too, like even the world building that they did with the Ugnaughts again, how they had to go down and they see like the Ugnaughts are like the house elves of Harry Potter world, where they're just like the ones underground that fix all the droids and do all like the grunt
Yep.
work underground, and they're underappreciated. And but I thought that was just cool to see, like, you know, just the little different aspects and like dark corners of Star Wars.
Oh,
You
and
get to see.
speaking of world building, fucking
Yeah.
the flashback for Order 66 with Grogu and his whole rescue
Yeah, let's
and
talk
everything.
about that. What did you think of that?
It was fine. Again, it didn't really. It was pretty safe. Run of the mill. Like we've seen flashbacks to Order 66 before, and this was really no different. They introduced a new Jedi, Kelleran Beck, which is played by Ahmad Best known as Jar Jar Binks from the prequels. So that was a fun little, side.
I think that was a great move, honestly, casting wise, because like the
Why
guy
not?
needs to give him another character to be then, so people can get
And you never get to see his actual
part
face.
of the Star Wars family. Yeah, so that was cool. Give
Nobody
him
wants to be
another-
known as just being Jar Jar.
Yeah.
Correct, exactly. So that was really cool.
He played it. Yeah, he played a good part there. But like again, the flashback was cool, and it was cool to see Grogu during Order 66. But again, it didn't really move anything forward. Nothing spectacular happened there, other than, oh yeah, Grogu this is how he got out. When Order 66
we did not
happened.
need to know that.
No,
Yeah.
it's cool to see, but
Curious.
I
was Grogu curious.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was cool. Again, some world building there and some more backstory on Grogu. I want more. I mean, I know that's part of Grogu's character is how mysterious he is and where he comes from and everything, but I just want more info on Grogu. Like, give me where he's from. Give me his fucking his parents.
Grogu now.
Yes, Din Grogu.
Right.
It's Yoda and Yaddle. They're banging it out in the back of the
They're banging
in the
it
back
out.
of the Jedi Temple. What do you think? Yaddle lays an egg and Yoda has to sit on it or something?
I don't want
Are
to
they
think about that.
Are they egg animals? Do they get pregnant? Is Yaddle walking around with
How long are they?
swollen
Everything's
feet?
so slow. They probably could have had sex 200 years ago, and then she probably like 100 years later got pregnant through it.
You go,
Right?
coming, I am going to
200
do.
years ago it was. Not
Right.
me, it wasn't. Yeah, I know. They all look alike.
Yoda's
You know
dirty talk has got to be good too. It's got to be on point.
Yoda has white eyes, with like they're kind of like human eyes, but baby Yoda, Grogu, he has big dark eyes. Is it because he's like a puppy, and like
I don't
he'll
know.
grow into his face, or like will he?
I never
'cause,
thought
like,
about that.
Yoda's cute in an ugly way, where like I think Grogu's adorable, like a puppy. Like, will he turn? Like, are there different? I don't know. Well, whatever. Like races or species. Like, do they have that with their alien? Could there be like
Maybe
northern,
it's
southern?
probably it could be like just variations on certain traits within their species.
That would be. I think that would be very interesting. I mean, not that I want to explore too much of the Yoda, because like we all know that Yoda doesn't have a last name. If he does, nobody knows.
Don't even know the name of the
Right.
race.
And
It's just a Yoda.
It's just
He's like
Yoda.
head of the council, and we just like don't even like. It's like having the president of the United States of America not knowing his last name. It's like, what is your last name? What's that?
It's like Prince, It's just that's all he's got. Now he's
yeah.
Din Grogu. Now we know. So
Another
Yeah.
cool little detail was the appearance of Brian Gleason as Brendel Hux on the Shadow Council. So that's General Hux's dad from the sequel trilogy, which was kind of a cool thing. And
Be related.
they're
Are they gonna be related characters then?
well,
In
the actors are brothers in real life.
That's
too.
what I thought. Yeah, they're related in real life,
Mhm.
and they are related in the
Canonically, the guy in the Shadow Council is General Hux's dad.
Okay.
So the real life actors are brothers.
Yes, which
Yes.
I love it. Yeah, it's great.
Yep.
Get
cool. I
their
like that
dad
Shadow
in.
Council.
Yeah, that was cool.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
All the stuff with
That was
Moff
cool.
Gideon, I thought was great.
See the Outer Rim. Yeah, those last 2 episodes were fucking top notch. Like I know like they did spend a lot of budget between, it's not like they jammed all the special effects into that last episode. They saved a lot of money with the Imperial officer episode because you just need courtyards and bullshit. But yeah, those last 2 episodes of the retaking of Mandalore is, I mean, they ended on such a good note. They tied up everything, answered all your stories, set up the next season, which hopefully you don't need to have special watching for. We don't need to watch Book of Bo-Katan or something like that.
They'll have they'll milk that shit.
You think they're gonna have another Bo-Katan spinoff?
I think didn't they set it up to have a season 2 of Book of Boba Fett? I don't know if that's in production or if they canned it because it didn't get that great of critical reception or something. But I thought there was a season 2 planned.
Why didn't Boba Fett cross over into Mandalorian? Like, hey, we need some help.
I don't remember. It's so long ago. I don't remember where.
Bitch on Tatooine.
I don't remember where Boba Fett left off.
He's just
chilling on
Tatooine.
Tatooine.
They had the post-credit scene, which was the sheriff from that one planet, that desert planet.
Oh yeah,
or Tatooine or something like that. But
it's always Tatooine.
He came from season 2 of Mandalorian. Then he was in
the back to tank, right? At the end of
because he got fucked up. Yeah.
By the bounty hunter guy.
Yeah, he got shot by
guy.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Cad Bane.
Cad Bane. Yes.
He shot him. Yes, in the Book of Boba Fett episode, and then in the post credits they had him in the Back to Tank.
That's right. Okay.
But they made a big deal about like him being in that and like keeping him alive for a reason. So I'm like, okay, so what's that about? But we don't know. So where do you go with that story? Like, how do you can't just can it. You at least got to wrap it up, even if it doesn't go anywhere. Like, at least give us something because it's just frustrating as somebody trying to watch these shows and you're like, where'd that go? Oh, I don't know.
Boba Fett's just kind of hanging out as a crime boss there, right? That's
he's just gonna make his own rules. He just said he's making his own family. It's all about like having your own clan kind of thing. That was his. You could technically end the show there.
Open up a space Outback steakhouse. Serve,
dude, Fennec, give Fennec a show.
Yeah,
become a tourist.
I mean, you could do a lot of spin-offs with a bunch of different characters.
Boba Fett can make an appearance. He's got his crew. He's got
He will.
Bikers at home. You see the shiny biker gang show up at the battle of retaking of Mandalore, the shiny bike crew, and all of a sudden they just get pounded by something and just all blown up into the air.
They get smashed by that cruiser. Yeah. But yeah, there was some good stuff. The action I thought was fantastic throughout the entire season. Like, I thought it was top notch. All the space battles. Like this is the best visually Star Wars has ever looked before.
For a TV show, yeah.
I don't know. I think maybe ever. Like, I know maybe I don't know. Say what you will about Rise of Skywalker, but I think it looked really, really good visually again. Yeah. But this show, there's definitely some budget behind it.
Yeah, I do miss some of the things that I saw in the first season, which was more of a slower, more artistic approach to it. I remember when we first met Grogu, we didn't even know his name. Everyone just called him Baby Yoda. He didn't really talk, and he just hovered behind Mando. And the shots were like low to the ground, very slow, very far, very
It's a Western kind of thing.
It was, and it was great. And I'm like, the mystery of the little guy was awesome. And now it's just like, I don't remember any shots really standing out from this season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like it looked good. Like, the budget was there, but it's like, but there's nothing extremely interesting that I was like, damn, what a shot. Where like, when I see like the top of the screen and I see like an Imperial ship coming by, it's like I don't know how big it's gonna get, but like the farther it goes across my screen, the bigger it gets. I'm like, whoa.
One shot that stood out to me, I think it was in the finale, or I think it was the finale. But when Axe Wolves is going up to warn the cruiser that the Imperials are coming, like all those. Well, it was cool seeing him go up, but then all of the smaller, Mandalorian ships go down through the clouds, and then it pauses for a second,
Yeah.
and then all the Imperial ships come up and start attacking the cruiser. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, that's good. No, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Imagine flying up to space with a jetpack. That's got to be friggin' wicked.
I don't know. Not that it's a dumb nitpick, but I was like, I feel like they've said before that, there's not that much fuel in those little jetpacks, so I didn't think you would be able to. I didn't think you'd be able to make it all the way up to out of the atmosphere.
The jetpack is not strong enough, and it would snap your neck probably with the amount of pressure that the planet is pulling down. Yeah, that's where science,
whatever. It's
fantasy start taking over.
It's Star Wars. It's a dumb
The
name.
Mandalorian armor makes.
Dude, you know what's really cool? The one guy, I think his name was Pax.
Paz
Right,
Vizsla.
Paz, thank you. He has a cool moment, but he has like one of those little bubble shields on his arm.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really cool, and that's like something that I've only seen in the video games. I think the Battlefront games, where you can bust that out if you're the heavy character.
Yeah, he's got the bubble shield.
Has it been shown anywhere else?
True.
I've never seen it. So I was like,
not that I remember.
That's what I seen.
I think Bo-Katan had one at some point.
Bo-Katan does have one. Yes.
Okay.
I think that's
like,
part of
have
the
you seen it in
Mandalorian.
Clone Wars or in the movie?
Not that I remember. Nothing specific that sticks
So
out.
how cool is it that it's taken that from the video game? Like I said, other things it takes is from like the prequels, and the sequels and the OG, and I love how the Mandalorian is able to pull all these elements into the show.
Yeah, definitely. Moff Gideon's Dark Trooper suit was badass. Thought that was really cool looking.
Yeah.
I mean, they had that same.
It's like a little mini Vader.
Yeah, they had that same voice effect that they have on like Kylo Ren and stuff, which is cool. I like that.
Yeah.
But I thought his suit looked sweet. Like I said, visually, I thought it looked great. Just some up and downs, but overall, I enjoyed it. I had fun. There was nothing where I was like,
can't have
Mandalorian
Praetorian guards.
Mandalorian armor on, like that Mandalorian armor on stormtroopers. Like that seemed like you can't just start doing this. Like,
well, they're on Mandalore, so they're
stormtroopers,
they're mining Beskar to create armor. Yeah.
Well, now that they kind of blew up the base, it kind of puts an end to that. But
right,
because those stormtroopers were taking like 6-7 shots, like the stormtroopers were not going down at all, which is cool to see. Like
it's a
them
cool
finally,
twist.
like,
yeah,
fighting on like a different level, but they still all got murdered. So
yeah.
No,
that was cool. You're used to seeing stormtroopers just go down in one shot, but they put up an actual fight. And the you might, I don't know if you're about to bring this up, Brandon, but the point where Din is infiltrating Moff Gideon's like control room, where it's like a video game where he's doing each level with the shields.
Levels.
It reminded me of it reminded me of episode 1, Phantom
Yeah.
Menace, totally.
Yeah.
With the ray shields.
Total video game, because like tougher enemies.
Yes, I
each.
love that. That was cool.
I thought that was cool. I know what I'm saying. Like, come on, people are reacting like this show like is like trash. Like I saw trash. Like go on YouTube, type Mandalorian season 3, and look at the titles and tell me people gotta chill out. It's like what is the real narrative of come on, we're that bad. I had a lot of fun. Dave, did you enjoy when R5? I know you didn't like him being the same R5 from A New Hope, but did you like the moment when he came and like had to kind of save that? He was doing those.
Get him in there, like
he was.
I wish it was a new droid,
stomping in,
but like I don't like it. Like, hey, look at this guy was in Star Wars. He's back again.
It's like his redemption story, though. Like
it's true, but you don't have to recycle the same.
He's a capable droid.
I didn't mind that. It didn't bother me. I like that he took on all those little droids. The little mouse droids. That was good.
Good though. Yeah.
Yeah, it felt like a George Lucas scene to me, honestly. I love droids. I think they always have been like.
It reminded me of
Star Wars.
I mean, we've seen it a lot where they're like the droid is stomping in and then they're trying to do it quietly or before someone else catches them, because like it reminds me of like in the beginning of episode 3 where R2 is doing kind of the same kind of thing and he's dealing with the battle droids and everything. But yeah, that was great. Good little redemption for R5.
Yeah, you always have to have a droid scene. Think about all the shows; they all have a scene where like a droid dies trying to save somebody or something like that, or saves the day.
And I like that R5 had personality too. You can tell he was like
Yeah.
a little
Oh, he like popped his
wimp,
head around.
and he like looked over the edge and he made like a little like whoa, like he was scared.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that
And
was good.
Mando doesn't like droids, and he's surrounded by droids, and now Grogu's in a droid, and it's just like, what the? Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, people need to calm down. I'm looking at YouTube right now.
Yeah, it makes me sick. It's just like,
you
where are we?
know,
Like, I
there's
get it,
no
nothing's
in
perfect,
between.
but
You
it's
do it for the content. This sucks.
they do. That's what they say.
Yeah,
It's
it's an
terrible.
overreaction.
It's over. They're phoning it in. It's done. It's like
It has its ups and downs, but
no.
there's high
Yeah.
moments, and I don't think the low moments were like egregiously bad or anything. They're just kind of boring.
It was
That
the
was
over
about it.
cameoing.
Right.
That one episode was, and it was a decent episode because I like the whole droid thing with I mean the answer to the who's. It was like a Scooby Doo episode where it's like, who's the one that's doing it? Oh, it's the person that's in charge of it the whole time. Like that was kind of lame in the cameos, but like there's good stuff in there too.
Yeah.
So
Less of that one actor, the Asian guy, the heavier guy. He is
You don't
dry.
like
mind him?
Yeah,
I don't
He
mind him.
he's
is
funny
so
though.
dry.
I like
That
his
guy
character.
gets way too much screen
like-
time.
He's like the he's like the Ned Flanders of X-Wing fighters, where he's like, hey diddle space neighbor, what's going on? Like he's just kind of just hanging
He's
out,
kind of
having
like
a drink.
he's kind of like the unsung hero a little bit too, because like he's the one who discovers the shuttle that was supposed to be transporting Moff Gideon, and
Mhm.
He kind of cracks that open. So I don't know.
He's just boring. So
Yeah, I
I don't know
agree.
if you guys ever watched Sesame Street, but I think he has Sesame Street acting, where
Sure.
like he's acting so bland and safe and generic that it's just like, get in a fucking accent. Like Bill Burr at least like showed up and had like one of the best moments on the show with the Imperial officer talking about killing all of his like buddies in the when he was like in the military. Like that moment, you felt that character. I don't feel for this guy, and he's trying to solve a big thing. Like the one of the big guys who's talking to Thrawn might have gotten out. He's trying to crack that case, and he's just, I'm just walking around, just talking to people. I'm like, dude, can you at least appreciate being a Star Wars? I
Just
think he's like
walking
an
around.
actor or a director or something like that. I think he's a big cameo or something like that, but I'm not impressed. Get that guy out. Put another character in, please.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He was in one of the movies though. What was he from?
He was from previous seasons of the Mandalorian.
He's just always just like
That's
a
it?
cop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think he's been in any other Star Wars
X-wing
stuff.
pilot.
I mean, I could be
Yeah,
wrong.
I
but-
thought he was a rehash. Hold on, let me find him.
But all the it was cool though. All the directors did make cameos. I think as the New Republic pilots. So like Dave Filoni was one of them, and Deborah Chow was one of
Yeah.
them.
Saw that.
So
Mhm.
that's cool.
Yep.
But
Yeah,
if
the production's fine. There's a lot of cool things, but I don't
Let's
know.
talk
You know how I
about-
am with acting.
yeah, so where do they go from here? Mando and Grogu are just on a fucking farm on Navarro. What are they
They
doing
set it
after
up.
this?
Yeah, go back to season 1 style and just take on some jobs.
It seems
hope
like they're
that's
setting
where
up.
They go.
Yeah, they're setting it up to be like Din training Grogu to be, Mandalorian and ingrain him more into their culture and everything. I just want to see Grogu
wanna
in a
see
little Mandalorian helmet.
I want to see.
With the ears coming out of it. You
Actually-
have those
Yeah.
ear holes.
I was wondering, like, is Grogu the first non-human that they've ever taken in as a Mandalorian? Because they all are
I
shaped.
think so
like humans.
because
They're all
the
humans.
race on Mandalore is human. So that's where the Mandalorians are from, Mandalore,
Okay.
and they're humans on Mandalore. So
Okay. All right.
So
Well,
probably.
there you go, then.
I think
Alright.
I think it's. I mean, they're
Do you
they're
think-
breaking their creed all throughout this season.
True.
They're joining like the castaway, or like what do they call them? Forget what they call.
Foundlings.
No, the people who are like Din Djarin had to reclaim himself. What are they? There's a name for him. Whatever. I don't want to get stuck on it.
They're like apostates or whatever.
Yeah. Right.
They're,
I think
the tarnished.
Yeah, basically. But they're grouping up with them, and they kind of. I liked that they gave Bo-Katan that role of bringing together both sides, because like that's what's torn apart the Mandalorian culture throughout their entire history is the warring factions and the warring sides. So having them bring together and kind of fighting for a common goal was cool.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. I wasn't too hot on the Mandalore stuff. Honestly, I like more of the other things, but it was cool to see like the story kind of go where they come back together. Like we've seen that, to fight the evil, we gotta work together. Like I've seen that. Like let's get it over with. Like let's have the obvious scene where like these two guys are clearly playing like chess or whatever. They're playing some game.
Yeah.
And was it a specific game? I don't know. But anyways, like you knew they were gonna like start a fight over it.
Well, even one of them said was like it was bound to happen sooner or later.
Yeah, it's a cliche moment where like you get the two factions together, but they're not gonna kill each other. But oh man, they are gonna go at it.
They're
I like that.
with honor. You gotta. It's like who's the alpha dog, and then you got.
I mean that is okay.
But it's also
gangs, like
obviously going to be the two characters
whatever.
that we've only met because we haven't met really anyone else.
Right. I mean that's fine, just because that's part of their
outlines.
That's part of their culture or whatever. Yeah, all the other Mandalorians are just side background characters.
Yeah, I like show me them all eating, where like all of them like maybe they tried doing that a little bit, where like
they did a little bit.
Walk away when Bo-Katan was by herself, but
season has to be like a cosplayer's wet dream. Just like, oh my god, look at this fucking orange armor and green armor and blue armor.
People and they've been doing like, crazy Mandalorian armor for years.
Yeah, but this one, it's like now it's like legit. Before you just had like Boba Fett and Mando's shiny shit. Now you've got like every creed and color, every combo you can think of.
Yeah, sweet.
I do like that a lot.
Cool shit.
Yeah, they have, and like all the helmets have like different visors and different like eye shapes and stuff. Like the attention to detail on the Mandalorian armor was cool, and the Mandalorians just look sweet.
Look great.
Yeah.
Can't beat Chrome.
No, I feel like Mando does stand out with his shiny ass chrome armor.
Right. He's also the best one. I mean, like, come on. Do you see that?
That looks the coolest? Yeah.
And they act like they give him a hard time. The armor was like weird about it. Like, does anybody see you without your helmet on? One time. But I had to do it. She's like, no, fuck that. You're out. You're gone. Get out of here. You don't deserve it.
You must wash yourselves in the waters.
I'll be back for 4 episodes and get it back. And I'll just lie. I could lie to you. I saw the water.
Right?
No, you didn't.
And he could have. He's like, I have proof. I have proof.
She poured it into the thing.
That could have been any water.
That's how you tell. It's got like minerals and vitamins in it.
It's got mythosaur jizz in it. That's fine.
Yeah. Mythosaurs don't listen to jizz music.
They're supposed to be extinct, I think.
They're supposed to be a myth. It's a mythosaur, so it's.
Did she really see it though, or is it all?
That you get that shot in the last episode where they show it again.
It comes out of the ground. That's the
Book of Mythosaur.
Book
December 24th.
Just this giant creature swimming around the whole season.
Yeah, eating people.
Always a bigger fish.
People, yeah.
There is always a bigger fish.
All right, let's give a number rating on it just to round it out, wrap it up. I feel like I'm a solid 7.5. Like I feel like they averaged each other out. So like the lowest was maybe a 6 and the highest was maybe an 8-ish, 8.5. So average out 7.5.
I mean, those last two were bangers. Like, and some of the filler ones were, they're all right. I probably end up around 8. It was good.
Yeah, it was good.
It's good.
I don't know if I could quite get to an 8 just because I was
the Guns for Hire episode and some of the other ones were but
yeah. I was bored in some of the episodes.
7.5, 8.
Yeah,
right.
7.5.
Yeah.
It's either great or it sucks. Like those are the only two options.
And maybe it's boring that we're given like an average score, but like that's what it was. It was average. It was an average season.
Things are allowed to be.
Yeah, things are allowed to be just fine.
Feels good.
Yeah,
things are allowed.
I want to give it an 8, but I can't. I can't.
I think
I think
Metacritic.
7.5 is
can't.
perfect. 7.5 Lizzos.
7 I think Metacritic agrees with us because I think it's right at like a 7.5 on there too.
Or is
So,
it? Okay.
yeah. So it's very, you know, just average.
I mean, if you're a Star
Yeah.
Wars person, it gives you all that background, it gives you all that lore, it gives you all the cool stuff. So
I don't feel like I wasted
I
my
mean, what's
time
the-
watching it.
no,
You know,
not at
No,
all.
it
not at
sucks when
all.
it's over, but I didn't. I don't have that rush like I did from the first 2 seasons. Like I just didn't have any. The highs were never that high.
And by the
Where
end, I
was
wasn't like,
yeah.
but by the end, I wasn't like, oh, I can't wait to see what's next. Especially with the way they ended it with
Yeah, because you didn't know
fucking,
where it was going.
yeah, right. I
Excited
didn't,
for the next season now. Honestly, I hope they get back to their little space one-off missions, and I'm sure
They
there'll
just
be
didn't-
Bo-Katan.
I wish
poking her
they-
nose in and stuff.
I just wish they left me with just a little nugget, a little something else to get excited about, you know.
So they're starting to say the name Thrawn out there. That's got me.
That is the
Yeah,
that is the
cool.
nugget.
They're building up to
That's
it.
for Ahsoka's show to take
But-
care
Right.
of.
They built up
Moff is
Bo-Katan
dead
like
now.
season 2. Did we meet Bo-Katan?
Yeah, she was
Right.
with her.
Yeah.
So it's not like she came
band
out of
of-
nowhere this season. Like they kind of set her up previously to.
Well, Thrawn
come
was
back and
mentioned
kinda take stuff,
in
so.
the Ahsoka episode when she was fighting that woman to get the
Braun was mentioned all the way
Beskar
back in
Gears
season
Star.
1
Oh yeah.
of The Mandalorian. He was
Really?
mentioned. Yeah, Moff Gideon name dropped him in season 1. So
Oh, I
Mm.
missed that.
it's been a long time coming, and you know,
Okay, well that's sick.
So-
Getting closer.
you
We
know
saw
they're
his
gonna-
minion now.
'cause yeah, Ahsoka's next, like you said, and they're definitely gonna tie in what happened in They've already tied in Ahsoka to the Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett, so all those are tied together and they're all happening at the same time in the Star Wars timeline. So like, Ahsoka's gonna have, Thrawn, and then Thrawn will probably be in Mando too. So it's the Star Wars expanded or whatever.
Fun times.
Universe.
All right. Well, hey, we said quick review. I think
Only an
we should
hour.
wrap it up here.
Is that it? Oh.
But
For an
yeah,
entire season of a
more-
TV show.
More. I don't think it's off the rails at all. I just think it took a little dip in some
No.
storytelling. Quality is there. Like Eric, you're declaring it some of the best visually Star Wars.
I think so.
that
I
Star
think
Wars has been.
I think
Said
everything they do, they step it up as far as visuals go.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I would urge people to try to relax a little bit. I know it's Star Wars. I know it's a big deal. I think it's a really hard franchise to get right. Obviously, Disney has fucked up. They've also done incredible things with it. But my God, we like as a fan base, we cannot
Well,
keep acting like this.
it made
know?
it made a bigger deal back in the day when you're only getting like one Star Wars movie every, 4 years,
Yeah.
whatever. Now you get Star Wars stuff like 3, 4, 5 times a year. So just
Dude, yeah.
soak it in and
It's
soak it in. You're in the I don't want to say golden age, but there's more Star Wars content coming out now than ever before. So
There was something
We have to
special
with what
about
you
that feeling though when Star Wars content was sparse. Like the feeling that I got when
It's
The
true.
Force Awakens was like announced and going to be a thing. It had been like 12 years or however long it was since the last Star Wars anything.
Yeah.
So I was like so hyped for that. So but now it's like, yeah, Star Wars is just mainstream and Disney just pumping content out. So it doesn't feel as special, but I'm still
mindset-
excited
the-
about it.
The mindset of your audience is just different than it was in the 70s. Like that's
Yeah.
it's just like think about all the things that people experienced a decade, 2 decades ago, 3 decades ago, whatever. Like things change and the way we consume media has changed. Like yeah, you can delay the movies, but I mean, I don't know. I just think Star Wars has already done that. I mean, the movies, they just declared another trilogy coming.
Mhm.
They have tons of TV shows coming. People are overreactive. Everybody has an opinion. We have an opinion. Everybody's got a camera and a microphone. There's social media. There's toxic fans. There's really beautiful fans. There's so much going on in the world of entertainment. It's just bonkers, and I never know. I mean, we'll probably see AI write a Star Wars episode at some point. I mean, it will
Please
happen.
don't.
of course
you know?
it will.
And then they're gonna be like, "Oh, it was better when people made it." Yeah, these AI movies suck, and it'll be just like how people feel about the sequels or the prequels. There'll always be some kind of group that in Star Wars
Yeah.
that just hates a lot of the other stuff. But
Yeah.
Let's get back to the Yoda and Yaddle getting nasty in the Jedi Temple.
No, I don't want to get back to
Let's
that.
get back to that.
Oh, thank you. I'm good.
Hey,
I'm good.
if you thought about it, it exists on the internet somewhere. So
Yeah. What's it? Rule 34 or whatever it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
it exists out there. So let's not tempt fate.
Yeah. If you want, just search Reddit or something for Yoda Yaddle. Yoda Yaddle.
Lay Yoda on Yaddle action.
Not safe for work.
Oh God, don't do that. No.
Oh my God. All right. Is that
I have
it?
spoken.
Should we wrap up? I have
I have
spoken.
spoken.
This is the way. This is the
Mhm.
way. All right. Do you want me to do our little outro and we can get out of here?
Give us the goods.
Sure. Give us the goods. If you want to follow us on social, you can follow us at Nomads of Fantasy on Twitter and Instagram. You can join our Discord at the nomadsoffantasy.com/Discord. You can play our game, whatmapgame.com. If you like guessing video game maps, you can go to youtube.com/@nomadsoffantasy to watch our videos. I think that's about it.
Use.
Anything else? All right.
Good.
We are out of here.
Peace out.
This is the way.